Hello, today we are at the Satellite 2010 show. My name is Rich Tarani and I am reporting from Maryland, and we are speaking with David Bettinger, who is the CTO of iDirect. David, good afternoon. How are you?
Great. Good to be here with you.
Well, thanks for being on the program. Could you give us an overview of your company, please?
Certainly. iDirect is a leading provider of IP-based satellite communication systems. Our equipment is sold to service providers who in turn use our systems to provide IP connectivity almost anywhere in the world for a lot of different markets, including mobility, oil and gas, enterprise, and military and government systems.
Fantastic. Now, we talked a bunch about some of the interesting things that you're doing in some of the verticals or subsets, and I found one of the more interesting ones to be mobility. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Certainly. We've invested over the past 5 or 6 years a lot into this concept of mobility. Satellite provides a key enablement to be able to get connectivity anywhere. Simply the fact that satellites can cover oceans and ground. So what we did is we modified our systems to be able to allow our systems to be put into maritime applications, airplanes for aeronautical applications, and be able to have constant connectivity while they're traveling across oceans or through the sky, switching from one satellite to another, all sharing the same IP connectivity that we have.
So we're talking about ocean liners to airplanes, right?
Yes.
Are some of the different areas. So could you give us a little bit of information about how you came up with systems to deal with a cruise liner having to hand off between satellites?
Yeah, so we developed 2 key technologies for the maritime market, and cruise ships are one of the leading uses of our systems. First is called automatic beam switching. We actually can communicate with the antenna systems that are up on the top of the ship that are constantly stabilizing, keeping pointed at the satellite. We communicate with them when we're getting close to a satellite beam edge, and we tell the antenna system to switch over to a different satellite, and we can log in and authenticate into the new system. The other thing that we've developed is what we call Global Network Management System. The GNMS allows users of our system to have hubs all around the world, but centrally controlling and modifying the aspects of the satellite network, all from a centralized location.
Great. Now, military is obviously a fast-growing space with the increased spending on automation and unmanned vehicles, especially flying vehicles. I'm really curious to hear how you're implementing technology in those areas.
That's a very good point. About a third of our revenue comes from U.S. government and U.S. DoD applications through our iDirect government technology subsidiary. What we're learning from them is they actually need to have situational awareness, and so there's a lot of video feeds coming out of not only ground-based systems but also the unmanned aero vehicles, UAVs. And so we're actually taking our modem technology, pairing it with specialized antenna systems that go on top of the aircraft and actually provide connectivity, high-speed connectivity for video and other type of data applications from the UAV back to ground systems.
And similar technology is going to be utilized by consumers, right, on passenger airlines?
That's correct. We actually have some systems out there today. One of our key partners is Panasonic Avionics. They're actually the world leading provider of in-flight entertainment systems. They've licensed our technology to try and put up a global coverage for aircraft. They right now are flying Lufthansa, and they hope to sign up many new airline companies in the coming months. And the idea there is to provide not only in-flight entertainment systems, but also connectivity for data, voice, and ultimately video content.
Now, the U.S. has a few carriers right now that does this. Is it similar kind of service that we're talking about?
Yeah, so mostly in the U.S. There's 3 types of technologies that actually serve the aeronautical market today. One is it's called air-to-ground connectivity. So they actually have cell towers placed all around the ground, and connectivity is going across directly from the airplane to the ground. The other two are satellite-based. The problem with the first one is, of course, you can't handle international flights when you're going across water.
As I recall, that's JetBlue, right? Is that
JetBlue has? They are getting video today, but they're going to move towards a two-way. So there's two companies provide that: Aircell and Live TV. They own the licenses in the U.S. to be able to do this technology. The other two technologies are satellite-based. One of them is L-band over Inmarsat. It's actually quite an expensive service, and then there's VSAT, which is what iDirect is providing over standard KU band and ultimately Ka band satellites, and that's going to be the most cost-effective solution, but it's a market that is really just starting to develop now.
And U.S. consumers are probably familiar with the GoGo in-flight, which is...
That's the Aircell. That's actually over Aircell.
Yeah, so that's a pretty popular one, and so we're beginning to see it on more and more planes, so that's great news for consumers. What's next for your company? What can we expect?
So we are looking at expanding in a number of different directions, both geographically. We're already very strong in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Our Asia team is starting to build out and getting a lot more wins there. Latin America, all the while keeping our eye on the ball in North America and our government side. We expect our government IGT organization to expand quite a bit over the coming years as they're able to go after more top secret clearance work. And we expect our markets that we can actually address to expand with our new product sets. We continue to focus on technologies in the area of efficiency, IP connectivity, and security. So all those things are going to allow us to build out our markets, as well as manageability. Thank
you so much. Well, I really appreciate you being on the program today and being part of this TMCnet video interview.
Great. Thank you.